Hi everyone, and welcome to Starbucks Saturday. First and foremost, I say this every week, I am blind and I am not able to look in the viewfinder or see how I could adjust the camera and actually make myself visible. So if I can't be seen here, sorry, not sorry. Last week I pre-recorded this, and this week I thought about doing that. Well, this week I had the time to do it, but not the energy. I've been fighting a cold all week. You might still be able to hear it in my voice. Actually, it was the worst. It was the worst last weekend, which made me really thankful that I did pre-record this video, or last week's video. I didn't feel it coming on when I pre-recorded it, but I was just like, well, I've got the time, why not do it? Like I said, this week I had plenty of time, but I just didn't have the energy, so I never did it. So here it is, Saturday at like 8:40, and I'm recording this. Normally I wouldn't do this so early. Normally I'd sleep in and get here at about 10:30, but I had made plans last weekend and had to cancel them because I was sick, and we were going to make up for it today. So you can't do a Starbucks Saturday at the same time you're having someone over putting together this thing that you just bought with your own money, might I add, that I'm really looking forward to using. So, after that bit of vlogging, I guess, we're moving on to what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is an old-fashioned concept, I guess. Pretty big word. It's got 13 letters in it. The word is unselfishness. For lack of a dictionary app on my phone, I think I can go ahead and define it because I know what it means. Unselfishness is thinking about someone else other than yourself. It's a frame of mind where you think about what other people might want or need, and not only about what's going on in your life. There's no one magical answer to how to fix the problems in this world or this country or this whatever. But I think selfishness is part of the problem. Selfishness is thinking only about yourself. Unselfishness, thinking about other people, is one thing that, if there was more unselfishness in this world, it might be a better place. Where's all this coming from? Well, I'll tell you. A couple of days ago, I was on my way to work, and my driver had his car malfunction, and we broke down. Fortunately, it was no serious than that. No one was hurt. It was just the car messing up and breaking down. Well, let me put this into perspective. We broke down in the middle of a busy street. The alarm started going off. It was one of these atomized to the nth degree cars. didn't even have a starter on it. It just kind of made a musical noise when I was starting. And then the engine finally revved up when we were actually driving. So all of a sudden this alarm kind of thing started going off, and it had a thing come up on his screen, safely pull over. The warning didn't even give him time to get into a safe place. I guess we just conked out in the middle of the street. He immediately called into his office and said, I'm completely broken down in the middle of a boulevard, and I've got somebody in the car trying to get her to work. I need somebody to get out here really quickly and help me get her to work. I actually wasn't that concerned about going to work. I'm completely giving a thumbnail sketch of one of my vlogs. I'm not sure when it's going to come down, but there's definitely a vlog in the works. Anyway, he calls for help. We sit there for several minutes. Fortunately, there were a couple of guys who were unselfish enough to approach this driver who was outside the car trying to find something to put out to let people know, look, slow down or something. Apparently cars were just flying right past us. And I guess he was trying to find something to put out, or he was trying to put something out. And a couple of guys were unselfish enough to stop what they were doing and get out of their vehicle and say, are you okay? And I didn't hear the conversation. It happened outside the car while I was inside, probably calling my coworker or the receptionist or texting my boss saying, I'm going to be late. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm broken down. It's 9:45. I'm stuck 50 blocks away from work with a shift that's supposed to start in 15 minutes. Meanwhile, this guy, these two guys are saying to this driver, are you okay? What happened? And the driver said, well, the car broke down. I can't move. And with their help, somehow we were able to get the car off the road and at least into a safer area. But after what seemed like a long time, but really was probably only about 10 minutes, one of the driver's coworkers arrived in another vehicle. We got in that vehicle, and I guess she stayed behind with the car. I assume she called a tow truck and arranged for the car to be taken for mechanical attention. Once we were back underway, this driver told me a story that just makes me mad. Obviously, it made the driver mad too, but let's see what I think I was saying. Well, we've got a lot to be thankful for. That did not turn into an accident. It was never an accident to begin with. It didn't turn into an accident because no one hit us. Honestly, he had said that. He had said, well, if we're going to be stuck in the car for a while, we're going to have to keep our seatbelts on because we could get rear-ended. God knows what can happen here. And we just did that. We sat there with our seatbelts on, which was fine, but I said, well, I don't remember exactly how this conversation started, so why don't I just stop trying to figure out how it started and move on to the point. The point is, this driver told me a story about how a few days before that, he was on his way home from work. And he decided to pull into a McDonald's to grab something on the way home. And this guy was broken down in a McDonald's parking lot with cables. I guess his battery had died. And my driver said, can I help you out? Do you need a jump start or something? And apparently this stranger that was in the dead car said, if you could jump start me, that would be awesome. You know, I've been sitting here for 6 hours and no one has stopped to help. I asked like 20 people for a jump start, and when no one would do it, I just quit asking. I'm glad that guy came. I'm glad that my driver came along. I hope that eventually he would have, I don't know what he would have done, but I mean, he couldn't have sat there forever. What I'm getting at is the driver commented 6 hours and nobody could stop for a minute or two and jumpstart this guy. You know, what does that say about our world? I made the comment, it's pretty sad when people like you and me who give a damn about somebody else are that few and far between. And he's like, yeah. Okay, I'm blind. I don't know if I would have even been aware that he was there. But if I had become aware that he was there, could I have jump-started him? No, of course not. A blind person cannot drive a car. I know I say that just because you're blind doesn't always mean you can't do, and I believe with all my heart that just because you're blind shouldn't mean you can't YouTube, but just because you're blind does mean you can't drive a car. It does. But just because you're blind doesn't mean you can't stop for a second and think about somebody else. If I became aware of that, I would have said, are you okay? Is there anyone I can call for you? Let me at least call the police non-emergency number and see if they can send somebody out here to help you or something. I can't drive. I can't jumpstart someone. But I can do something to help. Actually, a lot of times I find myself feeling like, yeah, people help me and help me. What can I do to help them? There's so little that I can do. But sometimes there is something that I can do. I guess the point of this, once again, long-winded video is, and I wonder how many people who are watching this really need to hear it. I wonder if the people that I would really dedicate this to, the people that would drive past for 6 hours, drive past the guy on the side of the road and not even bother to help, or drive past the guy who clearly is sitting there with jumper cables and nothing connected to him and not stop and say, can I throw a little bit of battery energy your way? I wonder how many of those people would actually watch this video, but I also know that YouTube is a pretty big platform, and although out of the 200 million people that watch YouTube videos, only 2 of them know about me. But the point is, why can't more of us take 2 minutes when we notice somebody on the side of the road or notice something that obviously sounds wrong and step in and say, is everything okay? Is there anything I can do? At least offer to help. If not, actually take a second and they talk about someone's good deed for the day. Whether you think of it as doing your good deed for the day, or being a good Samaritan, or or whatever, just stopping and helping someone in a time of need. Not only does it make you feel good, but it brings a bright spot to someone's otherwise crappy day or crappy moment. You know, I mean, what's good about being stranded in the middle of nowhere for God knows how long? We were okay, but this guy was stuck there for 6 hours. Seriously? I guess what I'm saying is, maybe we should stop and think about other people's feelings or other people's needs. I talk about other people's feelings because of something else that's gone on, and I am not going to discuss that, or if I do, I'll talk about it in a separate video, but, I don't even know if I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'm even going to discuss it on YouTube, but let's just say there are some people who really would be wise to think about what they are saying and how people might feel about it. Of course, said person doesn't seem to care, which takes me back to NV87 word of wisdom for the day. I never thought of myself as a wise soul that had nothing but wisdom to offer, but word of wisdom for the week, if you will. Stop for a minute from time to time and think about other people. The world doesn't only revolve around you. If more people realize that, think how much nicer of a world it would be. Well, I'm going to finish this stuff that I have here that I really didn't consume very much of because I was so busy talking. And wrap this video up. Thank you for watching. Please sign the Do Not Demonetize petition if you feel so moved, or if you are thinking of other people enough to think of the people who are, well, like me and like any other YouTuber who either are just starting out or started, like I said, are like me, started a year or two ago but hasn't made their mark on YouTube enough to have 1,000 subscribers and 10,000 hours of watch time, so can't make any money off of their videos. If you don't like that, sign the Do Not Demonetize petition or circulate the Do Not Demonetize petition. If you already signed it, I know you can't sign it 1,000 times. If you could, I'd be all over that. But you can distribute it to, you can share it with your family and friends and people that you think might agree that, okay, that sucks. Let's see if there's anything that can be done about that. Thanks for watching. Please sign the Do Not Demonetize. Sign and distribute the Do Not Demonetize petition if you feel so moved. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.